What's going on, everyone? This is Star. Welcome to the channel. Today's topic, we're talking about the Bohemian Grove. Ryan Garcia exposed them last week and he went viral. So let's go deeper into the topic. According to the Washington Post, every July, some of the richest, most powerful men in the world gather at the 2,700-acre campground in California for 2 weeks of heavy drinking, super secret talks, and rituals. The people that gather at the Bohemian Grove include prominent business leaders, former U.S. presidents, musicians, and oil barons. In the year 2000, Alex Jones and his cameraman entered the camp with a hidden camera and were able to film a Bohemian Grove ceremony called the Cremation of Care. During the ceremony, members wore costumes and cremated a coffin effigy called Care. Sounds crazy, right? Kind of sounds like when Ryan Garcia is talking. It sounds absolutely nuts. According to Bill Clinton, he said the Bohemian Grove is filled with Republicans who stand naked under trees. Again, it sounds like crazy shit. July is fast approaching, so guess what? They're going to have another meeting at the Bohemian Grove, and it's going to be a lot of drinking and a lot of partying and a lot of rituals, allegedly. The boxer Ryan Garcia opened up a can of worms, and now every time we see him on TikTok, it seems like he's going crazy because he can't unsee what he saw. Now let's move on from the Bohemian Grove and talk about DRAYA MICHELE because the men are still mad. I don't know why. She's playing the same game as the older men. The older men, they take full advantage of their success by getting the woman that they want, that 20-year-old. And what is DRAYA doing? She's maximizing on her beauty. What's the problem? Men are talking about DRAYA's baby daddy like he's a child. But when a 50-year-old man is busting down a 20-year-old, what do the men say? Oh, she grown. The man is the stronger sex, right? So why is it okay to bust down a 20-year-old, but a grown-ass man that's a multi-millionaire is seen as a child? He saw DRAYA. He liked what he saw. He definitely likes that she's older, but keeps her body in shape like she's in her 20s. He liked that. He went after that, and he knew that laying down with her without protection could produce a baby. This is not a disabled man. Go ahead and put Jalen's parents on the screen because I assumed his father wasn't in his life, and I was very much wrong. His father is in his life. Go ahead and put the parents on the screen, please. Go ahead and roll it. These are his parents, and Jalen has an attractive mother. So he wanted to be like his father and get him an attractive woman and get her pregnant. What's wrong with that? How many of you men have the guts to tell Jalen's father that he failed as a dad? And how you gonna be mad at him? He's a passport bro, allegedly. Did I say alleged? You know, these old men be out here fucking up too. I was watching YouTube last week and it was a 22-year-old that was dating a man twice her age. She fell in love with him. She took him to meet her mother, and guess what happened? Turns out she was sleeping with her father. These men out here are having so many babies. They're up and they're leaving their children, and 20 years later, they're running to their daughters in the club and busting them down. Now, that's what you call being super reckless with your seed. So these older men, they can't judge Jalen because they out here doing dumb shit. Jalen is laughing. He done got DRAYA tattooed on his body. He's like, yeah, bring me the free promotion, bitch. Bring it. Make my name bigger. Jalen and DRAYA, they are using each other. In my opinion, DRAYA is going to have 2 more babies in her 40s. Yeah. She's going to ride that body to the end. She is going to max out on her beauty till she can't do it anymore. Yeah, she's another Brittany Renner. Anyways, let's move on. What else are we going to talk about? Let me look at my notes. Oh, yeah. Kwame Kilpatrick. We must talk about it.
Have you guys been seeing this story circulating all over TikTok? Now, this is the daughter of Tamara Green, and if you don't know who Tamara Green is, let me show you her picture. So this is Tamara Green, who used to be an exotic dancer out in Detroit. Now, back in 2002, Tamara was paid about $1,000 to go dance at a private party at this mansion here. The scam artist, or also former mayor of Detroit, lived in that mansion. And according to reports, when Tamara was paid to go perform at that private party that was drug fueled, Kilpatrick's wife had seen her giving him a lap dance and attacked her. Now, for some strange reason, there is no account of this party actually occurring. Now, the first reason behind that is because it was alleged to be a drug-fueled party, and everybody was terrified of Kwame, the mayor at the time, and disclosing that they were actually at this event. And two, the fact that whoever else attended this event didn't want their name to be slung in the mud. Because shortly after Tamara had performed at this party, got attacked by Kwame's wife, she was killed in a drive-by. And that's where her daughter's story begins. So let me play you that snippet.
A very popular stripper in the early 2000s, and as you can imagine, that industry, you meet a lot of powerful, rich, famous people. My mom ended up having an affair with the mayor of the city, who was married at the time. So yeah, things got messy, and the mayor of Detroit's wife actually assaulted my mother. Instead of paying my mother hush money, the mayor decided to pay off cops in the city to murder my mother. There's a lot of key points to my mother's story, but to make things a little shorter, she was murdered in a drive-by with police-issued guns.
Now, Tamara's daughter will go on to say that once Kwame was arrested, because he wasn't arrested in connection to her mother's case, he was arrested for embezzlement and all kinds of other nefarious things. But once he was arrested, years later, he ended up getting pardoned by Donald Trump. Now, her mother's case has continued to go unsolved, but when I was doing a little bit digging into the case, it's an incredibly popular story across a lot of different true crime podcasts, because people are just thoroughly interested in why did this happen to her mother and why was no one ever charged. You could follow her page seen here, and she will give you more updates on what's going on with this case. And hopefully, by everybody sharing this story, maybe we can get the city of Detroit to actually do an investigation on what happened to her mother.
The daughter is brave. She's more brave than the cops that were involved in the case. She doesn't care that he was the mayor of the city of Detroit. She feels if he did that to her mother, his ass needs to be back in prison. Yeah. Every time I go on TikTok, somebody is talking about this case. I can't escape it. So I had to talk about it. The last video I seen of the daughter, she was standing in front of Netflix. So I don't know if that's her dream to have her mother's story told on Netflix, or if she had a meeting with Netflix. I bet the former mayor of Detroit and the police are sitting back like, damn, I wish that girl would shut the hell up. But imagine being the daughter. You're 7 years old and you lose your mother forever, and all the rumors all these years are the former mayor was involved. That has to mess with your spirit. What do I think about the situation? It doesn't matter what I think because I wasn't there, bitch. But I hope she gets justice. I hope she finds out what happened to her mother. Now let's talk about home ownership.
Like, I didn't know that when I was building a home that I was just gonna have to pay taxes off the land, and then when the home is actually built, then you gotta pay taxes on the actual home and the land, which increased my mortgage by $3,000. I didn't know that. So now my mortgage is increased by $3,000 from what I'm currently paying. You know, and plus you still got all these other expensive and stuff like that. I don't knock buying a home. I think the goal should always still buy a home, but you should be prepared to know what's to come. Like I say, if they would have told me like, hey, your tax is going to be based off of this number instead of this number in a year, no, that wouldn't have changed my decision. I still would have moved forward. But if they would have told me that, I would have been prepared and not, you know, look in the mail and be like, bro, who this for? You feel me? Who is this for? I know y'all ain't trying to increase my mortgage. And then the thing like that is like, you know, it's aggravating because it's like, bro, you think I'm just about to allow you to bully me? I feel like I'm like y'all trying to bully me. Like, you think you're just about to just get $3,000 extra out of me and no say so. But come to find out, this is how this junk is. So I wish I would have just known a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have changed my decision at all to build a home at all. I'm still thankful, thank the Most High that He, blessed me and my family to be able to do so. I'm not complaining anything like that. I'm very thankful, but I just wish I would have more prepared to that. But at the end of the day, it really don't matter, because guess what? The house gonna be paid off. Like I say, I would never be victim of a situation. I'll always be a victor of anything. So they can try to increase whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter, because guess what? The house about to be paid off anyways. So it really don't matter. But for the people that don't know, if you buy a home, make sure that you got all that information in place, the taxes, all that stuff, what the house gonna be. Make sure you know all that stuff going into it, so you can be prepared, and not be shocked when you look in the mail and be like, who the fuck? And then also the escrow, you gotta know what's going on with the escrow, because if your escrow is short, now you gotta pay this shortage thing that increase your mortgage as well. So if you could pay extra inside your escrow, make sure you could pay extra. Make sure you do so. If you just paying what the mortgage company got you set up with, 9 times out of 10, when that when your taxes and stuff go up, that escrow gonna go up, and it's gonna cause a shortage. So be prepared for that. Just get educated all the way around with the buying experience. Just be educated, so you can be prepared when you buy your home, purchase your home, build your home, whatever the case is. So pay attention to the taxes, the escrows. If you're in the HOA community, whatever the case is, just be prepared, But that's not stopping us from buying and purchasing and building, nothing like that. Still build and buy and purchase. Let's go.
Homeownership is a beautiful thing. That's if you can afford it. I know a Black family that lives in an amazing community. The house is worth over $500,000. Beautiful, but it's just one problem. Their toilet hasn't worked in over 10 years. And now it's a running joke, because every time somebody goes to their house, the first question is, hey, did you get the toilet fixed? Somebody actually asked them why they didn't get the toilet fixed, and they said that they called somebody, and the man said he would have to go into the wall, and it would be a crazy amount of money. So instead of calling somebody else and getting it fixed, they just been sitting back with a broken toilet inside a $500,000 house. I think that's really crazy, because in an apartment, that toilet has to get fixed, no matter what's wrong with it. And all you got to do is call the maintenance man, and they're going to get there within 15 minutes. But if you're living in a home and you don't have any savings, you're completely fucked. We can't just preach home ownership to our people. We have to be taught about taxes. We need to be taught how to read these contracts while we're at the table. We need to be taught how to ask questions, because so many people are afraid to ask questions. But these other races of people, they get in these rooms and they get a full breakdown of all the hidden costs. Meanwhile, after the Black people sign the papers, they have no idea of what's going to happen next. I saw another clip on TikTok where a 22-year-old became a first-time homeowner, which is amazing. But guess what? She didn't have heat in her home for a year, and she was paying over $3,000 a month. So she was taking cold showers every day before she went to work, because she couldn't afford it. Now, to the real estate experts on YouTube, and I know it's not your job, but you got to do a masterclass. Because yes, you got more Black people getting in these homes, but they can't afford it at all. They sitting in homes with no heat. They sitting in homes with no running toilets. And these are the same people that make fun of people that are sitting in an apartment, but the people in the apartment, they living better than you, because they always got hot water. They always got a running toilet. To all the homeowners right now, if your hot water heater was to go out tonight and you were told by the repairman, hey, you need a new hot water heater, would you still be able to afford to live in your home? A lot of Black homeowners are suffering in silence due to a lack of education. I'm Star. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Good night.